The puzzle is all together, and we're breaking it down for you right here on AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days, starting now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Oh, good afternoon, all of you Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days, where we give you a full dish of this week's episodes of NBC's #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, TonyMoore, and I'm joined by my gaggle of gals. We have now to my far left,
hello, everyone. I'm Chelsie Overrocker.
Princess Chelsie Overrocker has arrived. And, of course, we have...
Hi, everyone. Tami, Goveia. Welcome.
And we all got the denim memo today.
We did.
So this was not planned. We all walked in and we were like, what's happening? Michael Mattis is enjoying the wonderful waters of Lake Arrowhead as he enjoys his non-Labor days during Labor Day. So shout out to you, Michael Mattis, as you are floating on whatever tube down whatever river. Please be sure to check everyone because you never know where that river might lead.
So profound.
I love it.
So profound.
So good.
If you guys are watching us live, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are a lover of all soaps, make sure you tune into our other recap shows. We have Young and the Restless, which is the Restless Wrap, and also GH Report for General Hospital. Also, if you are listening to us on the podcast, hello podcast listeners, make sure you give us 5 stars and also a comment. We greatly appreciate you tuning in, whether you're on your way to work or walking that treadmill on the gym. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of AfterBuzz TV Dishin Days. Okay, that's it. I always feel like there's more church announcements, and then I'm like, no, that's it.
That's it.
What did you guys think of this week?
It was a good week. Everything, like you said, is coming together. Everyone knows that Kristin is alive and that she was just Nicole, and things are coming together with that. But it left off with some really good cliffhangers, so I cannot wait until Monday.
Yes.
It's going to be interesting.
It is.
Yeah,
Tamala?
I thought it was a real good continuation of the relationships. Like you saw stuff happening with Xander and Sarah,
Yes.
and then obviously the heartbreak with Eric and Sarah. There's a lot of relationship drama under the umbrella of the reveal of Kristin and Nicole and Holly and that whole mess.
Yeah. I thought it was an interesting week. A lot of things that we needed to know were coming out this week, and a lot of surprises are coming up. So I'm ready.
Yeah.
Let's dive into it. It's now time to start
Dishin Days.
Tamala. Bum bum.
Ta-da!
Also, you guys know that later on in the show, we will have Lucas Adams joining us, who played Tripp Dalton. He's going to take us down Tripp Dalton Lane as we remember all things during his wonderful time on the show. So make sure you stay tuned for that. He'll be joining us shortly. We're going to blink and he'll be here.
Yeah.
All right, so let's break it all down for our lovely funds here. So we have basically the Nicole storyline, and Kristin is basically in jail. Well, not in jail. She's in the interrogation room this week, and everyone, well, not everyone, but Brady is able to kind of get everything out of her as far as what's happened, and she drops the bomb that Holly is not dead, and she's with Nicole.
I'm really surprised that she went down the truth path. I mean, I thought she would give part of the truth, but then hold back, keep some of the cards to her chest.
But I think she was really trying to prove to Brady that this is all the stuff I did, and I did it for you, and I trust you, and I want you to know that in this moment, I'm going to be truthful because you're asking me to be truthful. Mm-hmm. I think that's why she didn't hold anything back and why she was willing to give and divulge all the information.
And I was thankful that she didn't kill anyone.
Yes.
Like when she actually said that, I was like, oh no, oh wait a minute.
She didn't.
She didn't do this, she didn't do this, she didn't do this. But man, she threw Tony under the bus.
Very quickly.
She was just like, bleh. He did it.
I mean, he did kill
I know,
Ted,
but my God.
But it was an accident.
It was an accident.
Which,
Yeah, she left that out.
Yeah, but it was an accident. But she covered it up, which I think, I don't know, it's almost just as equal as like killing him.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I think it was good. She's playing. Who knows? She might have some more cards that she's holding because we didn't even know about Ralph till later on. Till Jennifer's the one that pointed that out.
I forgot about him.
I totally forgot about him. But I think there's still some scheme to it because she got really defensive too when Jack was just saying, "Okay, this is the deal. You'll get out when we find Nicole."
And he stuck to his guns.
He did, which I'm proud of Jack for.
Yeah.
But she was really upset about that. So knowing Kristin, there's still something up her sleeve, but she's going to be as truthful as she can with Brady. I do think Kristin is good. Well, Kristin is good for Brady. No, sorry, Brady's good for, I don't know, how do I say it? I think, Kristin is good for Brady. I just don't know how that relationship is going to work out. I don't know. Sometimes I'm for them, sometimes I'm not for them.
Well, I think she messes it up when she starts lying to him.
And it's all this plotting and scheming that she's doing.
Because she gets insecure. But I did love the Xander, Maggie, Sarah, Eric scenes.
Oh.
I loved that dynamic so much.
Well, to me, it was very crushing because you understand that his hands were kind of tied at the moment.
He's scared of her, and who's not scared of Kristin?
Yeah.
You could see the fear.
And that, he genuinely never meant to hurt Maggie. And I think, above all else, I think that he was hurt that his relationship with Maggie was damaged, but also that in Sarah's eyes, he's a disgusting person as well. So to see that whole scene, and then with Eric being there, I actually felt bad for Xander.
Me too. Me too.
If you guys felt bad for Xander, click, and you're in our chat room right now. Go ahead and let us know how you felt about Xander in that moment.
He just has these eyes that when he's so hurt, he just looks into you, and you can tell it's sincere that he really screwed up and he messed up. And
especially when they threw it in his face that Maggie fell off the wagon because she thought Holly was dead, and you didn't say anything. You could just see him just like, oh, I'm so sorry. The collateral damage that he had no control over was really heartbreaking to see.
It was, and just because we enjoyed his relationship with Maggie and thought that they were, and now it's this, we're good. Oh, we're good. Oh,
But she still looked at him in the eyes and said, when he said, I had nothing to do with, Holly's not been harmed. She's alive. I would never hurt her. Maggie's the one that said, despite everything, I believe you.
Yes, she's the only one that believed him. And I love that moment. She's like, you need to go, you need to talk to Kristin, you need to find out where they're at. And he did. He was like, fine, I'll do it for Sarah.
But he got off the hook. Because by the time he got to the police station, she had already spilled the beans about everything. So he didn't have to actually go in there and confront her.
A lot of people felt bad for, in the chat, a lot of people felt bad for Xander, except for Marlon Wallace, who reminded us of when he made Kristin get on her knees. But that was for the mask. That was when he had a little bit of power for a second. But I think for the most part, she was like really in control of him. So,
and I was scared when they had the moment together in the interrogation room.
He was scared.
I was scared for him.
What I love is that they wanted to, as far as Maggie and Sarah and Eric, wanted to find out where Holly was, and kind of looked at him and thought, you're the only person who can probably get that information.
And I forgot that he didn't know where Holly was.
Right.
I forgot that he didn't know who Holly is with.
Right. And before it was like Holly's off with a new family, and even I think we were all kind of like, is she in the black market? Like, did you?
She with the narc family?
Right.
Like,
did you show up and was just like, I think Nicole was the real Nicole was the last thought we could have had. But he at first was like, no way, I am not doing this. I got immunity. I am good. Mm-hmm. But then I think he looked at Maggie and Sarah and thought, okay, fine. Like, I have to go do this.
They were looking at him, those 4 eyes, pleading
but it
with
was
him.
hopeful.
Like,
there was hopefulness in their eyes, like, and this, please, kind of look.
And Sarah, she used her card. Do this for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she knows. She knows what she's
Yeah,
doing.
but when he got there and he found out that Kristin wasn't in a cell, he was like, "She's in there."
And he just got out of the police station in the beginning. He's like, "Bye."
Yeah. Wait. Before he went back to the mansion, I giggled at this. Before he went back to the mansion and he was talking to Eli and Lonnie.
Mm-hmm.
There was that exchange, and then they started wondering if he knew more, and then he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go," and then he left. But then once he hit the door, he kind of like started running a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, that Paul Telfer, so funny."
He's so good.
But he wasn't able to get anything out of Kristin, and Kristin was like, kind of like, "How dare you show up?"
Yeah.
After you basically blew up my spot. So.
Because he used that card of, let's work together. He said he can help her get immunity. How was he going to help her get immunity? And she's like, there's no way I'm working with you. I'm looking forward to getting out of here and getting revenge on you.
That part I was wondering too. I was like, how would he help her with that?
How would he be able to help her get immunity? I don't remember.
I think it was knowing the location of Holly and Nicole.
Oh, because he wanted her to tell her where the location was at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
it's that.
So that way, then how it's gonna help her. But no, she's smart. She's like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
I mean, listen, everybody was making deals. Like even when they found out that Tony was the one that killed Ted, Ted and Anna came, and which, by the way, I realized last week I was like Anna, and I was like, that's not right. But Tony calls her Anna.
Anna, well,
Yeah, so I was
Teo
like,
has that
okay.
beautiful way of speaking, and
Anna.
Anna.
But they were even trying to figure out how he could get immunity.
Yeah.
And then it was the idea of, well, Gabi and Stefen are still locked in the
And I had completely forgotten about Gabi and Stefen. It's like,
everybody
my God, they're
still locked in there. And
Will and Sunny.
No, when
that too.
That one.
when Anna was like, "That's your leverage," and then was kind of like, "Well, how long they been there? Are they still alive or whatever?" She went and checked, and had 2 bottles of water, and almost opened the door like, "Y'all good?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Take this water. I'll be right back. I promise I'll be right back." And then just left.
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
I didn't think she would go down there.
Yeah, her showing up, first of all, is like, oh my God, what are you doing here?
Well, she was trying to, because she found out that, the reason why Ted was killed was because Tony was protecting Anna. Anna. And I don't know which one to call her now. I have to make a decision soon. And so that then made her want to make sure she protected Tony, because she also doesn't want to lose Tony again. She thought he was dead for all this time, and now there's the potential of him going to jail, over something that was really beyond his control. And she kept saying, "You're the victim here, Tony."
She was ready. She was ready to start a GoFund, website to raise bail for Tony, only to find out that that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll speak with the DA. She was ready.
But there's speaking of Tony, you can tell the clear difference between Tony and Andre.
Mackerel,
which
so clear.
It became even clearer this week, and the fact that Tony was like, he told Will and Sunny when they rushed in, once they put the pieces of the puzzle together about Gabi and her not, calling back and where she is, because apparently at this point they haven't heard from her for like a few hours. I don't think it's been like a full day.
It hasn't been a full day yet. Friday was the next day.
Yeah.
But the whole week was that
same day.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I just, like, it was almost his decision. Like he couldn't bear to try to use that as leverage when there's 2 people down there that need to be saved.
Yeah, Andre would have made different choices.
Oh, yeah.
No, that was really noble of him, especially, too, when Will and Sunny show up to the police station and they're freaking out because they haven't heard about Gabi. Love Sunny and Will.
So
and that's when Tony said, okay, I got to tell them where they're at.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
And Anna's like, what?
She was,
What?
yeah, she's like, I wouldn't do that.
No.
I went all there for nothing.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if Did we just cover the week?
No. Let's talk about Will, Sonny, and Susan, please.
Oh, can we?
Oh, my living
Monday's episode?
word. Oh, my living word.
That was my favorite.
I thought drunk Sarah was everything.
Drunk Susan
But,
is a whole different level.
I was crying. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, I'll take a shot.
What Stacy
Make it
did
a
with
double.
that?
She is good.
Oh my gosh.
I love it when she's like, I don't want any H2O. She throws in the plant. Give me some shot. We'll make it a double. I'm like, drinking buddy right there.
And she's like rubbing her teeth while she's drinking, and like all this physical stuff she was doing.
Yeah, it was, and then the fact that she was helping Sonny like pour more into
Come on.
And then how they put the pieces of the puzzle together that Kristin impersonated her. And then and Susan got upset and was even upset at the fact that she would slander the name of her sister. And by this time she's sloshed. She's got one strap
was coming
just
off,
coming
and
down,
then the other one came off.
and then she's just like whoo, and just I loved it.
I love it when she takes the shot and she starts gargling it.
That was oh my god.
I could barely do a shot myself, let alone gargle it.
That's the brilliance of Stacy and being in the moment.
And when they told her that Kristin had like went after Brady, and it was like, I would never let anyone desecrate this body other than Roger.
Well, she said there's only room in this trunk for my Roger. And she does that whole body thing. When you look at Chandler's face, he almost lost it. He did everything he could not to just burst out laughing. He had that little like biting of the lip. It was great.
I remembered today something that original Kristin, played by Eileen Davison, used to say. I think didn't they? Oh, I forgot it now. The sneaky snake. Did Susan ever used to say that back in the 90s?
It sounds familiar. I don't know.
And mine, Kristin, she's a sneaky snake.
Sneaky snake.
Or something like that.
I could see her saying it
maybe.
for sure.
Or maybe I could be getting Susan and Lily Tomlin's character in the movie Big Business crossed over.
Could be.
Because she'd be like, wow, you little snaky ass. If you haven't seen Big Business, go watch it. Okay, I digress. All right, so...
and really quickly, big
Yes.
reveal to Eric that Nicole and Holly are alive.
And now...
And just
Yeah.
like the fallout from that.
Yes.
Sarah knows
Yes.
she's lost him.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
But also Sarah admitting to Xander that she must, like, she thinks that he's disgusting, but she must be disgusting too, because her first thought was like,
I wish she was dead.
yeah.
And she just loses it. She's like,
Yeah.
am I a terrible person? And that moment is why, when she was confronting Xander about it, I was like, this is why I want them together.
Mm-hmm.
Those two together, just in those few minutes, made the whole week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Electricity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of electricity, Gabi and Stefen admitting to each other this week that they both have feelings for each other.
And he was the
and that
bigger,
they're in love with each other.
He was the bigger guy. He's
Yes.
the one that said, you know what?
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I was going to say he was so mature. He was like, what are we doing? We just keep going back and forth here. You know what? I'm just going to tell you to leave everything on the table. This is
Yeah.
how I feel about you, and
Yeah.
I know you feel this way about me.
Yeah.
So I give him kudos. He's
Yeah.
really maturing a lot.
Yeah. And it was about time. It's like, you can only have hate sex for so many times. And I was glad that Gabi finally admitted it. Was just like, okay, fine. I fell in love with you. And I wasn't supposed to. Kate warned me not to. And I did. And I was like, perfect. But then I was just kind of like, where does this go now? You know what I mean? Like, at what point does this, like, what happens?
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know how this is going to get navigated. I have
Yeah.
no idea.
Yeah. I don't know either.
I don't know.
Mm.
Well, I know now that Kate is head of the company, that's kind of the new storyline now with Stefen and Gabi. Now they've got to team up together to figure this all out
Yeah. Well, and the fact
as a team.
and the fact that now she officially took over CEO of DiMera Enterprises.
That was good.
Exactly.
Well, that was the slap in the face
And
to,
I was
everything.
shocked that Victor didn't capitulate. I was shocked. I thought when he went home to tell Maggie, it was
That he didn't what?
That he didn't fire, not fire, but demote Brady.
Wait, did you say capitulate?
Capitulate.
Capitulate.
Yeah, Kate was saying you need to do this. You need
all
to get
these big SAT words.
You need to get Brady out of there. I need to be the head honcho.
Yeah.
I thought Victor was going to say, okay, you can have whatever you want.
No.
But when he went home to Maggie, he said, yeah, I kicked her to the curb.
Yeah.
Downside is that she's not head of...
Kudos for Victor for that. He's finally putting his family first.
Maggie.
And not just doing what he thinks is best for the business. But I am so excited Kate is CEO. And now Gabi and Stefen are like partying up together. Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy. I kind of wish that Gabi was able to be in the CEO position just a little bit longer.
Well, I will say that of all weeks for Michael Mattis to not be here, he's been waiting for Kate's bitch boss moment for months, and this was it.
Well, I mean, is there ever a moment that she's not a bitch boss?
Well, but she's been
boss
just kind
bitch.
of not a victim, but she's had things, people hold, her threatening, her children have been threatened, so she can't do this, and she's never been able to just step into it and go, move aside, everybody, because I'm here.
Yeah.
And this was the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I'm digging it.
I love it.
I wonder what's going to happen now with DiMera Enterprises.
I don't know.
I have a few predictions, but that involves some other people that won't be coming on till a little bit later.
But I feel like the only thing we were able to see Gabi do as CEO was fire Ben for 2 minutes.
My God, that scene was hysterical.
She came out of that tunnel and she was mad.
Yes.
She was like, you're supposed to be head of security and how dare you not know where we were for the past few hours.
But Sierra stuck up for her man. She's like, listen.
She's perfected that.
She is good.
I got your back, babe.
Yeah. She stepped into that role real nice. She's like, you better calm down. We just found out 2 seconds ago when you did.
See, now every time you say certain things, I'm always wondering if you're trying to refer to a Taylor Swift song.
Yeah, you see, you got me figured out.
Yeah, how you you need to calm down. I was like, I see what you're doing.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
I wish you would.
But yeah, I mean, well, I guess we'll see how now the dynamic has shifted. That Kate is CEO, and then Gabi and Stefen look like they're going to team up. Although it looks like Stefen is going to shoot Kate.
Yeah, that's stupid. Why is he doing that?
Well,
he's been
waiting to do that.
It's still to retaliate against the death of Vivian.
Yeah, exactly.
But if everyone wants to become CEO again, this is not the best way to go about it.
Right.
He just
got
done getting framed for Ted, and now he has a gun to Kate.
I thought that Kate made a great point with him as far as like, would you rather I be in this position or would you rather your sister, who's a homicidal maniac, be in this position? Like, who would you rather work with? And then it was like the next scene, he's like, this gun, and then it's like, and I'm like, okay, we just did a 180 that quickly.
But I loved how Kate did go into the mansion and did say, hey, look, she was the bigger person and apologized and put everything into perspective. So I thought that was great on her part.
And the monologue with the photo, with the picture of Stefen. I loved all monologues with his photo. Oh my God.
See, I want to go on set and just, if I could go on set, that's the first thing. I would go to that room and say my own monologue in front of Stefen now. Everyone does it. I think you just have to.
To the Stefano picture?
Yeah, Stefano picture.
You know what? That could be something. That should be something for the DOOL app. We're always creating segments for the DOOL app.
Right? That would be good.
Your monologue to Stefano.
To Stefano. And it has all the characters just kind of there in front of the photo, and it's like, what would you say?
I love it.
I like it. All right, before we continue, we have a little business to go over. So, Tamala.
Folks, we just want to thank you again for making AfterBuzz TV literally the ESPN of TV talk. What we do here every week is only made possible because of AfterBuzz TV, and it's only possible because of the fans, you guys. We've got hundreds of recap shows here at AfterBuzz, not just for the soap operas. Literally, whatever TV show you like, there's probably a recap show here at AfterBuzz. So make sure, go on to AfterBuzz, dramas, there's different segments and realities.
Sci-fi.
It's all there. And always, thank you for your support of Dishin Days. We love what we do. We love you guys. Share the love with other people. Tell them to tune in. Thanks.
That announcement brought to you by the kind folks here at AfterBuzz TV. All right, let's get into some tidbits. We already kind of went over this one.
Yes.
So,
but I will say, when Ben went to shake Gabi's hand, and she's like,
she totally blew him
my
off.
living word, that was priceless.
He was like, okay then, I guess that's my exit to Q.
You say that's my exit.
I mean, sorry, my cue to exit. I'm just losing my words today. Really.
I like it. Then we had a little interaction with Chloe and Brady.
Oh, so sad.
Chloe returns from a red-eye flight.
Looking gorgeous. Come on, who looks like that after a red eye?
Me.
She
All of my flights are red-eye.
staggeringly beautiful.
I always look like this. But then she gets the call that she got the gig in New York. So she's gone.
Yeah.
And as you put in here, bye, Chloe.
Bye, Chloe.
But I'm sad to see Chloe gone because
so sad.
she was the tea collector of Salem.
And I liked her and Brady.
I love that was their last scene together.
It's kind of old stuff to regurgitate it if they were going to pair them again. But I like their friendship. I like seeing that on the show.
Yeah.
So I'm really going to miss that.
Then we had JJ, Haley, Tripp, Kayla, and Melinda.
Yes.
I love seeing Melinda on.
She looks amazing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
But she's back to being like that Melinda that I slightly didn't like, and it's like just trying to make sure she pins stuff on everyone, which, I mean, this time people are guilty, but I'm like, okay, girl, calm down.
But we've seen the other side of her, and we had that glimpse again when she went to go collect Haley, and JJ's like, all right, guys, let's go move you. And there's like, wah, wah,
well, it's like...
She was hurt by that.
She really was, but she tried to get out of Dodge so that way she didn't know. But I'm glad Haley said something and was just kind of like, I think she's disappointed that we're not moving there.
That was really cute to see her be so vulnerable.
Yes, but that's because... suddenly and unbeknownst to us, Tripp was on the waiting list.
He's a
for
sneaky
medical
little
school.
thing.
Yeah.
Because even Jennifer said, I'm sorry, what? He's going to, what?
And that's what we said. We were like, oh, okay, well, you can't go to Salem U?
I wanted him to go down the spy route.
Yeah.
Oh,
you know what? I
think
he's going to go to medical school in California and go, you know what? I'm not cut out for this. I love you, Kayla, but that's not me. I'm super spy. So
that's right, because they seemed like in the beginning they were grooming him to be more like Pat.
Yes.
And go down the ISA route. Oh. Yes. What if he's like a spy doctor?
That would be cool.
I mean, at some point in Salem they got to combine stuff.
Maybe it's all under the guise of him going to medical school. Like in Alias. Remember the TV show?
Yes, I remember
she's
that.
like blah, 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 and we just create all these scenarios.
Listen, we always create storylines around here.
It'd be cool if then he came back, is he a doctor, and he starts working with Ralph or something on invention.
Oh.
That would be cool. We had the storyline all plotted
All plotted out.
Yeah.
But the exit was sudden. I wish that Tripp was still going to be on the canvas because I actually liked Tripp and Haley more than I like JJ and Haley.
I like JJ and Haley. I wanted a triangle.
Yes.
I wanted the drama of a triangle.
I wanted that to expand a little bit. I do like JJ and Haley, but Tripp in the mix, I was feeling it, and then it just got cut so short.
I know.
I wish they could have expanded a little bit more.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
But
he was Tripp was starting to have feelings for Haley before he left.
And Kayla said that, like, you're leaving because you have
Haley.
feelings.
Yeah.
Like, well, sort of.
Oh. But then my next thought was when he told JJ and Haley, you guys don't have to go, like, you can stay here in the loft.
Toss the keys to him.
Yeah, I was just kind of like,
our founder Kevin
all this. Oh, not ready yet. I was like, how are y'all gonna pay for this whole loft?
Well, they're both working.
Yeah.
You know, Salem rent's probably not that bad.
You might be right.
It's not Los Angeles.
No.
That's a lot of space, though.
It is a lot of space.
Well,
actually, that's 3 bedrooms. That's right. There's a loft, and then 2 bedrooms down.
Oh, yeah, and the 2 down.
Right?
Yeah.
Unless anything happens to Ben's place, and then Ben and Sierra move back in.
Stop it.
I don't know.
You know what Sierra and Ben can do? Come over and get Claire's bed.
Yeah,
so that way they have a bigger bed.
That again.
Because listen, those 2 grown people can't sleep in a twin bed together. Just saying. All right, moving right along, we have Jen, Hope, Jack, Kristin, and Melinda.
Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, that was a big old chocolate cake that Hope was eating.
And then when Hope was just trying with her feelings, she was just like, "Are you gonna eat this all by yourself? Are you gonna make me eat it?" She's like, "Yeah, because you're being stupid right now."
And I'm always looking to see if if Christian Alfonso really does eat the cake.
She was.
Because there are moments where she just goes to eat it and then there's dialogue. And then she goes to eat it and there's but this week she actually did.
Yeah, she had a couple of bites.
Some chocolate cake.
Yeah, and that chocolate cake looked good.
That was cute.
But they were having a whole conversation about they were about Ted.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And how Hope, started feeling like, was there something that I could do? Did I,
feeling guilty.
Yeah. That's probably why she was eating the chocolate cake.
Yeah.
To be honest. And then Jen feeling hopeful about Jack getting his memory back, and then came up with the idea about finding Ralph.
Yes.
Because at first they thought, there's no hope because Eve has destroyed the serum. She also destroyed all the files and stuff. And then she's like, here's another thing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then off they go to the address that Kristin gave.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Chicago.
Why is everyone in Chicago?
I don't know.
Okay,
Nashville
fine.
and Chicago.
But it was Jack, Jen, and Eric.
And when they were fighting...
when Jen and Jack?
Yes. First of all, with JJ, he's just looking at them too, like, okay, are you guys going to go or what? And then when they're all at the door and Eric is like, can we move on? Can we get going? And then Eric and Jack start fighting. Jennifer's like, oh, for God's sake. Just open the door.
Who's gonna bust the door down? It's gonna be me. And then Jen was just like, for God's sake. And then just like walks in. Which, first of all, whose door is unlocked like that at the hotel?
Every mansion's door is unlocked. People just walk.
Walk in.
It's safe in Salem, so everyone leaves their doors unlocked. God.
But overall, there's a lot of immunity deals happening in Salem. That's why people are walking free. Ain't nobody going to jail.
No.
We talked about Sierra and Ben.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is interesting. We don't have that much time to go over it, but Julie, Eli, and Lonnie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't know how to feel about that conversation because I was just kind of like, I don't know.
It just didn't fit. Like
it came out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, it really did. And I never really thought Julie as a racist or anything.
But she's made comments in the past.
And
where
maybe
it actually took me by surprise. Like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that about Gabi.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like over the course of probably the last year, she said things about Gabi and probably some other people. Just being Julie.
Yeah.
And just kind of got brushed aside. But like you said, the fact that they've spotlighted it, now it's like, why are they doing this?
Yeah, and then when she had the free at last part, and she finally feels emancipated, and I was just kind of, and I'd already seen something in a group about it, and so when I was like, oh, this is what they're talking about, and then I was like, oh, he's actually like addressing it, and I was just like, I don't know, because I didn't feel offended.
No, neither did I.
Okay.
Well, you mean when she said
free at last and the emancipation?
I was shocked.
You were?
Oh my God, I was shocked. I said, I cannot believe she's saying this. Yeah, I wasn't offended by it. But I was shocked because I could feel how it could be absolutely inappropriate.
Yes, but not that it's okay just for certain people, but when it's like certain people that say things and you just like go,
they're a good person.
Yeah, like of course you would say something like that.
But Eli brought up the point. It's like, we know you. We
but other people don't.
But if other people are hearing this, it could be taken all ways, wrong ways.
Yeah.
And that was a good point for him to bring that up too,
Yeah.
because we all have someone like that in our life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that says stuff saying, "Hey, we know who you are as a person."
Yeah.
But someone else could take it totally differently.
And they're completely oblivious to it.
Yeah.
I remember having this conversation with my mom years ago. She would say a few things. I'm like, Mom, Mom, you cannot. What, Mom? She's like, what? Because she just grew up in a different time.
Yeah.
So
I think out of all the conversations with soap operas, this is the one that is more relatable, that people can relate to.
Absolutely.
So maybe that's why I think it was just different. It was just something that I wouldn't see on Days of Our Lives, but at the end I liked it.
That's what they do, Days.
Yes.
Crosses those lines, which is great.
It definitely started a conversation in the chat. A lot of people, some people said like they have kind of felt like that about Julie for a while. Mm-hmm. Some people think that the way that she talks to Gabi is valid because Nick Fallon. It's kind of a mix. So maybe that's why this happened, is maybe because over the course of the year there have been some questionable things, and then they just decided on how to kind of have the conversation with her to kind of say, you know what, you may need to be a little more sensitive in what you're saying, because we know that you're a good person. We know that you're necessarily not a racist, but think about what you're saying and how
Julie
that can come
think
across.
About. She just says what
she's a
thinking.
spitfire.
But
we all know
did
that.
she have a heart attack? I don't understand that ending.
Well,
where Gabi literally says, "I wish you would die."
When
or
Gabi
something.
said, yeah, and then she grabbed her heart. I'm like, here we go. Here goes a condition. Something's about to happen. Good luck, girl.
But she looked too good. Julie was clutching her chest, but she looked beautiful. Not like she was in pain or anything.
Well, it's soaps. Everything is done gracefully until they lay you down and pour the blood on you.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
Even dying, like, looks good. Like in a hospital. I'm like, you look good dying.
I know.
There you have it. All right, well, that was your week of days, and now it's time for our segments, and we're going to start with mine, which is Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! Okay, now listen. When you are around the love of your life and you are trying to make sure that they are not taken away from you again, and you devise a plan and you have to go make sure said plan is in motion and that the people who are part of the plan are okay. Everything. When Anna went down to the tunnels.
The wine room.
The wine room. Just to double check and make sure Gabi and Stefen were alive. Toss them some water and be like, I'll be right back. And then like closed it. I was living for it. Yes. I was like, you know what? That's how you make sure your boo don't go to jail. You make sure that the people are still alive. And then you go back and say, here's your leverage, boo. So Anna DiMera.
Yes. Yeah.
You get Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! All right, and now it's time for... Designer Days.
The moment Lauren Koslow walked into the interrogation room, was it Friday? My heart, I gasped. She looked so stunning and incredibly beautiful. So really quickly, this is a Bagley Mishka collection, from the Bagley Mishka collection. Sheer striped trumpet sleeve shirt dress, fitted princess seams, and sheath silhouette knee length in this blue-black details. Retails for $369, which is actually a great price for this stunning outfit. Lauren Koslow, Mrs. Miss dead, but you know, she's still a Mrs. Kate DiMera, you get this week's Designer Day.
Okay.
Oh, that was the longer version.
That
was
a good
Designer Day. And now it's time for the moment of the week.
Okay, moment of the week. It goes to my son again, centers. When Sierra and Ben, when he mentions that they are going to be able to keep their place together, Sierra loves how that sounds and think it's really cool that they drifted into it. Ben makes it very clear that he did not drift into anything, and he wanted this since the day he found her on the road. He quote, "Fate brought us together, and I will not let anything tear that apart." Moment of silence. Oh, so cute.
Oh.
Aww.
I was like, moment of silence. Oh. And that was your moment of the week. All right, those are our segments. We finally got through those. But we had to sadly see someone go to medical school. But you know what? He's making a pit stop right here live in our studio before he starts his studies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Lucas Adams in our studio.
Thank you.
Thank
It's
you.
right in California anyway. So.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
He's just right down the street.
Yeah.
Thanks for he has been a great trooper for like the past 15, 20 minutes just listening to our wonderful wacky shows. So
I know. It was funny because I felt bad too. I like would be watching y'all, but then y'all were looking at the camera, so I was like, I'm probably distracting them. So I started just looking around the room. I was just like looking at every little nook and cranny around here.
I was thinking, oh my God, he's so bored. He's just like looking
I was
everywhere.
literally just trying to be like, I don't need to distract them right now. I'm just gonna be around here. I was like, I'll just look at everything they have. Like, what? It's cool.
So we were sad to see that Tripp was leaving this
my
week.
gosh.
Yeah.
What had happened? How do you feel about Tripp's departure and how suddenly it happened and what they decided to do to take Tripp off of the canvas?
I understood it for storyline reasons, just because sometimes the storylines do just fizzle out, and
Yeah.
eventually it's just like there's so many other things going on. My character was kind of just going, hey,
Yeah.
I'm here.
You need me to help take her out of the country?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, exactly.
I'll do that.
Yeah, and so like I think after a bit, it just kind of became that, and so I understood it. I would have liked it to have gone on a little longer.
Yeah.
Instead of just kind of like, cool, see
So
you.
abrupt,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it just like call for my things tomorrow. Like I'll see
Yeah.
you later. Like, but that was like the only thing. I wish I could have said goodbye to more people.
Yeah.
Especially like Sierra, for instance, for someone that I was in love with, and then, like,
Yeah.
that was just like
Yeah.
it was just a big storyline that just was kind of like
Cut.
we never addressed it.
Yeah.
And I just wish that we could have said goodbye,
Mhm.
or at least like seen my dad
Does
one
she
more
even
time.
know
Yeah.
I
Tripp
don't
is
know.
gone at this point?
Uh-uh.
I don't think
know.
she's heard, right?
I don't think anybody knows except JJ and
Except
Haley.
JJ and
Yeah.
Haley.
And
Yeah.
Kayla.
Yeah.
And Kayla.
Yeah.
And Jen.
And yeah.
And Hope.
And Hope. Okay.
And the chocolate cake.
Well, and that's chocolate cake is always gonna know. But no, I liked that we got to end it with Mary Beth too, which I really enjoyed
I always
those.
love the scenes between you
Yeah,
guys.
and that's
you know?
what like it was really nice getting to kind of be like, because that was also my last scene that I did.
Yeah.
And so was that one, and so being with her as like the final scene was really cool.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of nice, like just to kind of be the person that started it.
Did you always
Yeah.
have that special relationship
Oh
with
yeah,
Mary
I
Beth?
mean we just talked all the time, and so it was kind of nice because like when we were in her room the whole day running those scenes, and yeah, like she was like a little like a second mom to me. Like she would joke with that. I was like, no, you're just a friend of mine. but no, so she was like always one of my favorite people there, and so that was kind of cool getting to have my last scenes like with her, and so I was really excited about that.
Yeah.
And we always talk about, the love triangle
Mm-hmm.
that formed between Haley, JJ, and Tripp. Before you left, did you wish we could have expanded a little bit more into that storyline or dig a little bit into it?
Yeah, and that's kind of like one of the like I thought was funny about it being so abrupt, because it just was like, oh, I'm starting school tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's kind of how it was with me too, reading the scripts. Like they told me, and then like a week later I had that script of me leaving, and I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
All right,
So
well, let's do
I'm
it.
gone.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, well, I'm gone then. All right, okay. He's smarter than me. But I also like the idea of him going to medical school though too,
I thought
that was
because I did like the spy idea though, because that would have been
See?
Cause that would have been really cool.
Yeah.
And we always joked about it on set too, that I was gonna lose an eye too. Well, then they did that whole we did a joke about it when Haley sees a photo of Steve, and then she's like, oh yeah, you could pull it off, and puts
Oh,
a
yeah.
hand. I was like, oh, this is like foreshadowing. I was like, it's cool, but
just
can we
never
make it
know.
this eye? This is my good eye. I was like, I'd rather you not cover my right one, please. But no, I really liked that idea. But I like the idea of him going to medical school, because he did really enjoy it when he worked there, and that's why one of the reasons he kept having that conflict, of going after Kayla and then trying to help people, because then he was like, well, I'm having fun. I just feel I'm trying to have an ulterior motive the entire time, and so I like the medical school idea too, though.
Yeah.
And he's already gone through college, so he's already graduated college. They said established a long time ago. So
Yeah.
now he's just getting his degree again.
Yeah.
Just getting his medical degree.
Just going back again. Well, now that we have, this is your second appearance here with us,
Yes.
but
Technically third total, not for days,
yes.
but I was on Afterbuzz TV a long time ago once.
yep, that's right.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
For
We know.
True Blood.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
That was like years ago.
Oh yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Time is going by so fast.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of time going by really fast, your time on days unfortunately came to an end this week.
Yes.
But I think we like to play games around here. So
Nice.
we're gonna play it's not really a game, but it's like a trip down memory lane. So we have some photos up here, and we're just gonna ask you some questions
Oh.
about it. We're gonna start with the very first one, which is your first. Not that one.
Yeah, I was like, wait, you just skipped one.
It's your first appearance on the show. Your hair was like a little blonder.
It
when
was,
you,
and it was
when you
l-
first came in
There we
It
2010.
was
go.
long, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was I remember I hated that hair.
Did you?
I like it. This is actually a lot shorter than I've ever had it.
Yeah.
Other than and I don't necessarily like this right now. But it happened, so I was like, okay, I'm dealing with it. It was a lot longer. It had that feathery look to it.
Yes.
The textured look.
Yeah, and I look incredibly younger there. too.
It's almost like you were on the verge of having like the flip where you were able to kind of just
Oh, I was
like that.
Yeah, that's the time. Like I'm around the house, I wear like a bandana or something because I get hair in my eyes. So I wear like a headband or something if I'm at my house.
But what was it like coming on to the show? And I feel like anytime anyone starts the show, there's so much happening. There's so much dialogue. There's so many things that you may not be necessarily used to that you suddenly have to be like used to.
Yeah.
So what was that like first week like for you?
I mean, the first day I had 8 scenes, and I was just kind of like, okay, this is how it goes. You know, you've never done that many for anything like that. And I came in with my script highlighted, and then I had, because I didn't think about the time taking only my things out and keeping it, so like I had the whole script. Because like I was thinking like, oh yeah, everybody does that kind of thing. And then so I was like, I had this whole thing, and then I had my I have Post-it notes that I would cut and then make like little tabs, so I would find where my things are.
Right.
And I just have them stuck there, and so I was literally constantly like, okay, all right, we're good, we're fine. And then everybody else having like 3 pages of the whole thing. And I was like, how do these people get these shorter scripts? And they go, oh, we do that. And I was like, oh,
you can take them out.
Yes.
There's a Brad in there. That makes so much sense. Okay, yeah.
Learning the shortcuts.
Yeah. And so that was probably the more overwhelming thing. Was going, okay, I have to know all these, and I know they move fast. I don't want to. I'd hate to go in there first day and then like mess up once. I literally was like, if I mess up once, I'm gonna like just be upset. Yeah. Because I was like, I need to make sure that I'm not slowing anybody down. Yeah. And so but then after like the first scenes were with Steven and Mary Beth, and it was just they were like, hey, you just relax. Yeah. You got this down. Because we did the rehearsal, and I didn't even bring my script to the rehearsal because I was thinking we're just blocking. Cool. They're like, oh no, we're blocking like all of them. I was like, oh.
It's like, excuse me, I just gotta go get my
I'm just gonna grab a pencil really quick. So I didn't have anything with me really because I just didn't think about it. I was just thinking this is like a normal thing. And they're like, no, we're doing it back to back. This is where you're gonna stand. Remember all of this. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Awesome.
You're learning so much as you're going.
In the first day or two, that was kind of me, was just going, all right. I was just rolling with the punches, going with whatever's going to happen. But then Steve and Mary Beth, I was with them most of the time, and so we would run scenes the whole time. We'd be talking the whole time. They'd be always just kind of like, hey, you're fine. Just relax. And I was like, oh, if they're relaxed, I can be relaxed. Yeah. And so they really helped me out right away just to kind of go with the flow with everybody. Because they were just easy to work with, and they were easy to kind of just bounce off of. And
you felt safe with them, I would
yeah. And it was really just like I said, like they were relaxed. I was like, cool, they're good, I'm good. That's as long as nobody else feels stressed, I'm not going to feel stressed.
And it was such an interesting time because when you were introduced onto the canvas as the son of Patch and Ava, it was like, oh wow, okay, so this should be
crazy
good and crazy. and then we felt the conflict that your character had as far as like, yay, I found, my biological father, but then to find out that he killed her, it was just kind of like, okay, wait, I don't, and so we were just like, ooh, good luck, girl.
Yeah, it's just like
trying to navigate
it's
that.
just it's a whole trip.
Yeah, literally a whole trip.
No pun intended, but there you go. Yeah, it was just a roller coaster right off the bat of just kind of emotions and trying to still be that bad boy character, but then obviously show his soft side and show his like vulnerability and things like that. But he was also this trying to be Patch all the time because like I was the whole time I was standing like Steven was. However he would be standing, I was trying to stand similarly to him. Yeah. Or like if he had his arms crossed, I would cross my arms in a scene.
Really?
Yeah. And I started doing that.
And that was your choice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just were son and father trying to do something that made us look similar. Yeah. And because we already did look fairly similar. Like I've seen like photos side by sides of me and him at like the same age, and it's actually kind of weird with the same chin.
Wow.
That's the brilliance of Marnie.
I love Marnie so much. And that's what I was really just trying to just go with. I was like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna be like Steven here. Yeah. I want to do what he's doing for this character, and then add this craziness to him. Yeah. And so it was hard to navigate for a bit, but I figured it out after a while.
Because I thought when you first came on that you had more touches of Ava because she was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and especially when you found out how Kayla was involved and you had like had her in the nap room and like had the scalpel and all that kind of stuff. I was like, see, now the Ava in him is coming out. But then he kind of like leveled off and became more like Patch.
Yeah, and then more like the voice of reason, like toward like the last few months. Really, it's been more of like, okay, no, this is what we need to do because of this happening kind of thing. And I really enjoyed that too. I liked the switch that, especially after Steven was gone, it was like, okay, now I think he feels like he had to step up in a way after that, and I think that's what they were really writing for. Yeah. And I really enjoyed the way he kind of grew up, like in the short time he was there. Yeah. Yeah. And
speaking of your mother Ava, right on the red carpet of the Emmy Awards, you actually met your mom, Tamara, for the very first time.
The very first time.
How was this moment for you? Because this was they had obviously been talking about her all throughout the show, but you guys had never met.
No.
Which it never crossed my mind. Like, oh my gosh, that's right. They've never met.
Yeah, it was always oh, your mom was fantastic. She won an Emmy, but she's dead. Yeah. And I was always like, oh, well, okay. I mean, I wish I could have met her. That'd have been nice. But then, and
then that moment happened. How was that moment for you?
It was so cool, especially because I was finally like, hey, like, oh my gosh, like it's like I literally have never met you before. And so
Tony could see the two of you walking down, like you were both separate, talking to different outlets.
Yes.
And Tony's like, oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. We gotta get him. Get him.
And then as we were talking, Mark J. Freeman like saw Tamara and was just like,
hold her.
This is your mom. And it was like, oh wow, look, this is actually happening. And it happened like right there.
Yeah, no, and I love this photo too because it's the most like candid,
authentic.
It's the most generic photo you've ever seen. The most candid photo you've ever seen.
He's blushing.
I know. I can't believe I said that. No, and that's what I loved about this because it was so cool, especially on the red carpet, and like at the Emmys, and it was just like that was a really cool moment.
I always wished though that maybe she was still around and that we just had that moment of like Patch and you and Ava and just like what that dynamic would be.
And I watched a lot. I got to watch some of her scenes, like just especially with Patch and how like crazy manipulative she was able to be. And like I really enjoyed that because it was just like she's just crazy cool, like because she stays like level-headed while she's angry the whole time. And that was a really cool. And I like same with like y'all were talking about Kate DiMera as like that character is amazing. And like I even working with her for like a second she would really like talk down to you, and you're just like,
okay,
all right, and
totally
then Lauren's like the nicest person.
She is. She's super nice.
It's really funny. So she plays that character really well.
Another aside, Tripp had a lot of love interest. Obviously, there was Tripp.
Never could really fall on one.
There was Tripp and Sierra, but like Tripp and Sierra didn't quite happen because there was a lot going on there. I feel like it wasn't the right time.
Yeah, like I was going through hairstyle changes.
and then it just everything hit the fan when she found out that you had planted the evidence on Ben, and then that just grew them closer together, which then created the phenomenon of sin. And like totally pushed Tripp out.
Well, but I loved that was how it went down. Too, because that was such a crazy storyline to try to sell. That sold, I thought, perfectly, especially with those two. Like because they worked great together, and then adding this whole thing, and then Tripp kind of being the bad boy again, getting to come back. And like, I loved getting to kind of do that again. So I was like, see, he kind of had gone away from that for a while.
But there to pick up the pieces was good old Claire.
Yeah, of course.
Now,
cray.
But
I made that face a lot at her.
What a dynamic storyline though, especially to find out that Claire had like started the fire and how everyone was kind of putting the pieces of the puzzle together. For you, how was that storyline for you and seeing it kind of unravel, and also just seeing the dynamics of Olivia Rose Keaton, because I think that's when
she got to
the
get
cray
but
really
she got
came
to
out,
like really release like everything that she's been bottling up, and she's fantastic. Her eyes can like she can have no words, but her eyes can tell you everything. And that was like the coolest part, and that we'd always joke joke about her eyes because like she would always like there'd be times she would just be looking at you and you're like, stop, like, stop looking at me, please. But no, I loved these. Like this whole storyline, for one, like we said, getting to show Olivia's range of just really being the amazing actress she is, and then kind of get worked in on what was, you know, the like current events of going on, like at the same time, and then also with the fire that has always been in people's minds for
like what happened?
Since it happened, you know, and then adding the how many people could have killed, like even Tripp came with a bad, you know, rep coming in, like he's had a record and all this stuff. He could have done this easily. Yeah. But then I remember even joking about this though. Victoria and I were joking around with the producers and just saying like, hey, yeah, it wouldn't be funny if like Claire did it, and they go, huh. And we go, what does that mean? And they go,
nothing.
Don't worry about it. And we're like, oh, what does that mean? And then they go, no, right? No, I don't think that would happen. We're like, okay, cool. And then it happened, and we were like, you guys lied to us. We're like, they go, no, we didn't ask. We just told you what you didn't need to know at the time. And you're like, okay, I don't like that. but that's literally how it came about. Like we were joking because we started going, okay, because we started being detectives, and because we only get so many scripts at the time, you know, so we're not getting the most like ones in the future, we're getting the ones like a week ahead of time, and so we're going, okay, process of elimination. Here's the people that we know didn't do it. We were asking the producers constantly, so who do you think would it be? This person? Then they're like, probably not. I'm like, okay, but would it be this person? No, probably not.
It's just
so we were constantly doing that.
You know, because in film or TV, you have the script. You know what's going to happen beginning, middle, and end. And in daytime, in the soap world, you don't know anything.
I was always so excited to read what I was going to be doing, or if they ended with a cliffhanger, you're like, what am I doing?
Well, it's good to know that like you guys have the same feelings that we do.
Yeah.
Right.
Because something that happened, we're like, what?
Oh yeah,
what is happening?
We're just as big a fans of the show as y'all are.
Yeah,
because we're right there, and we're also going, whoa. What? Hang on. Well, wait. And there were times that I would be reading something, I had to flip back to somebody else's complete storyline to be like, because I was referencing something, and I was going, wait, what does that mean? And I had to go back and find somebody else, or I have to talk to like, you know, Eric in the makeup room and be like, hey, so what's going on with y'all? Because like there's a whole other thing with us here that I think we're mentioning something about y'all. I don't know what's happening because because there's so many storylines going on at one time. You're trying to figure it out.
Figure it all out.
I always say this, you know, and as actors in daytime, you have to be open to whatever comes down the pike, and you don't have a whole lot. You don't have a whole lot of time to work on it.
No.
You just have to bring it to the table immediately.
Yep.
You don't have the luxury of, you know, months of working on a scene or a storyline.
You're lucky to have a week.
You guys have to get it right pretty much the first time.
Yeah, because that's why like sometimes we'll tape rehearsals. Like that's what Olivia and I did constantly. We would always we would do straight to tape, sometimes to save time, and so a lot of our scenes together would be straight to tape, no rehearsal, just doing it, because they would go, oh, we're up, okay, y'all mind? We're like, we don't really care, like, 'cause we'll do it. We've been running it for an hour and a half back here together, so like we'll be fine. But it was still that added stress. But then Olivia would bring it every single time, so it was easy to bounce off her so easily because she was constantly on top.
Oh, that was the fact that they twisted it to, because we were trying to be detectives too. We were like, well, if it's not Ben, then who is it?
Who could it
be?
And
then it wasn't you, because we were like, nope, it's not Tripp. And then when they showed Claire, and we were like,
yeah.
And that just opened like a whole new thing of like just being jealous, and like this girl gets everything she wants, and like that little touch of crazy. We were like, this is little Sammy Brady in the making, obviously, because she like totally went off the deep end. But it made for such an interesting storyline and such a great dynamic between the younger cast. You know,
it just got to I agree. It just got to add another layer on top of what we were already dealing with. Yeah, and especially as like the younger cast, it got to have like, this is literally just the younger cast really going.
Like, and that was the next generation.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool too. It just let us kind of get to play with it.
Well, speaking of an added layer, insert Haley and getting married for a green card, which is, I don't want to say popular. I shouldn't say that. Scratch that. If anyone's watching, don't notice that. But that that for us was an interesting storyline as well. Just the introduction of Haley and this now immigration storyline, and then being related to Melinda Trask and what Tripp and JJ were trying to do in order to save her. How did you first feel about the immigration storyline? Because I feel like fans were kind of like well,
a lot of times they do that because they don't want to necessarily step on anybody's toes,
right?
And so I loved the fact that Days was really tackling it hard and staying current. And that's what I really was excited about.
Yeah.
Was because it's like, this is literally stuff that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And so the fact that we're getting to dive in head first and just go, we're going to make people mad, but that's how it's going to go.
Yeah.
And that's what I was really excited for, was to make people mad. Because it's going
start
to
the conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I really liked. And then adding the marriage hall, like, that was just like, okay, cool. And that was another thing. They told me that we were it was right after like one of our fake it was like one of our fantasy things we were doing. And I think Albert Alar came up to me and goes, hey, so you're the one getting married. And I'm like, to who? And he said, to Haley. And I was like, oh, cool. And so that was how I was told I was getting married. It was like in between scenes, just like, hey, so and I was like, cool. That's all right.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I'm down for that. And that's kind of the same thing. It's like, you got to be just open to whatever, because, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What storyline is going to happen. So it's like, cool, let's just try it. I like it.
Was that particular storyline where it was a little hard for you to wrap your brain around the direction it was going in?
Probably the fire storyline, just because that was the one that we really had to sit down and we were like, what's going on? Like, what's happening here? Because like it took us forever to figure out that it was finally Claire, and then we were lied to at the time. So we thought we had that marked off. We had her face marked off on the board, so we were like, nah, it's got to be somebody else. And so I think that's the one that we really probably kept circling back to, even like after the fact. And so I think that was the one that was really hard to like really wrap our head around. But like even the immigration one, like once we were going up to Canada, and I was like, okay, so are we gonna make it to Canada? I was like, are we gonna make it to Canada? Are we? It was like because at the time, this was only a few months before my contract was up anyway, and so we were caught in that fire. I was like, am I gonna die?
Yeah.
Because it's possible. Is Haley gonna die? It's possible. We have no idea.
Yeah.
And so that whole time we were just kind of going with whatever. Because like even the fire, when I got that cut off, before it was like right before Eli comes in, and then that was the script we had for but then we had like an off week, and so we didn't have a script for like a week.
So you didn't know if like,
so I was literally like,
am I coming back?
I was like, did I die? I was like, I don't know. I hope not. Like they're like,
that's when you pick up the phone and go, yes, hi, Albert. Hi, this is Lucas.
Curious.
Just reading the script here, and don't have a new one. So just wondering what happens to Tripp.
Whatever. And just it seems like 302. I would wonder if there's not going to be a 303, 304. I don't know.
I don't know. Is there something that's going to happen?
Yeah.
Call me back whenever you get a chance.
Yeah, I know you're probably busy.
Was there ever someone asked this in the chat way earlier? Was there ever a storyline that you wish you could be a part of and then work with those people?
I would have loved when Tripp was a millionaire for that hot second.
Yeah.
I would have loved to deal with the business side of Days.
What was the millionaire moment?
That was I had the Vitali fortune.
Yeah.
Oh,
he got all the inheritance
that I gave away to the hospital.
Yeah.
That I should have like a wing named after me now.
Yeah,
should.
come on.
I gave it because we had a mock page to show like a fake bank account thing at one point, and it was like $20 million in there.
Yeah.
So I was like, Tripp, you could have held on to like a little
Just
bit.
a little bit, like you didn't. But
I'm working as a waiter
I know.
at the cafe. I was like, he could have held on to a little bit of that money. I was wearing watches and button downs, and it's like, all right, nice t-shirt. You got to sell all your clothes now. And I was like, no, it's totally true. It's just because it's like, yeah, you just gave away all your money, man.
Yeah.
And I was
I
like,
forgot about that.
yeah, I was a millionaire for a hot second, so I would have loved to deal with that business side and like really deal with like the DiMeras and the Kiriakis and like because I think I've only been to was it the Kiriakis? No, the
Like which
Kiriakis
mansion?
Yeah, I only been to one mansion once. and that was when Claire was staying there. No,
that was the Kiriakis.
That's Kiriakis mansion.
Yeah.
And so I had only been to the one mansion one time, so I was like, I wish I could have gone and like been in those storylines a little bit.
Something with John Aniston. Everybody always wants more with John or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That actually would have been really interesting because the fact that your mom came from like a mob background. And then
I come in and be like a little bit of the mob story.
Yeah. But then that would have been interesting to have like, I mean, you're a Dalton, but you're also technically a Johnson.
Exactly.
To then like have this rise of this empire from like
the Johnsons.
Yeah. That go against the DiMeras and the Kiriakis.
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That would have been, I really would have enjoyed kind of dealing with that.
Anything's possible.
Anything is possible.
That's right. Hey, the Vitalis are still around. They're just upset with me, I think. They're pretty upset with Tripp because I gave away all the money.
Oh, yeah.
So they said not to do that in like one point.
Yeah, listen, I would be upset too if you gave away $20 million. I mean, I'm upset with people when they give away $20.
I'm all for philanthropy, but come on.
Yeah, that's why it's funny because like after we did that, I was like trying to stay, to help pay rent or whatever, and I was like, oh yeah, I was able to sell a bunch of my furniture to make some extra cash, and I'm like, you had millions of dollars. You could have kept 1,000 of that, man. Come on, at least. No, I had to sell my furniture. Now I'm just in this one box. Here you go. Of course I'm moving to the loft. Nothing else is already furnished.
Well, we are going to take your phone calls. A lot of fans in the chat room are asking about phone calls, and the phone lines are open. You can give us a call at 424-354-8302. That's 424-354-8302. Give us a call. You can talk live with us and ask your question or give a comment to Lucas while he's here. And you make sure you do it now. I do have to give you this tidbit. We don't have a photo because I totally forgot to look for it, and I can't believe I did. But there was, I think it was like a week or two ago, that Tripp was just wandering around
in my boxers.
In the boxers.
Yeah.
And I think we all went, oh, well, Mr. Adams, how you doing this morning? Are those scenes? Is it ever awkward to like do when you go to wardrobe and they're like, here you go.
You don't go to. You just it's waiting in your room, and it's on a hanger.
No! That's so funny.
And it's like, all right, here's some boxers, so choose which one do you want to wear. I was like, all right.
At least you get to choice the boxer color.
Yeah. So I usually.
Well, at least you get to choose their boxers.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, because there's like boxers and boxer briefs.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, we don't need that on daytime television. And so I usually choose the boxer shorts. It's a little easier.
Well, you got a round of applause. Though.
Well,
great job.
Well,
He's been doing some push-ups and sit-ups.
Been trying to work out. So.
Yeah. Well, it showed.
Well, thank you.
Bravo to you. Some of us need an entire rope.
Well, the funny part was. Shelby, my girlfriend, was watching that as well, and we were watching it.
She's so cute, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh,
shout out to
your
Shelby.
Instagram photos, OMG.
Thank you so much.
Adorable.
Thank you so much. But she joked because it's like I'm just standing there looking at a photo of Haley in my boxers, and I'm just it's like JJ comes in and it's just like, oh.
How's it going?
How you doing, man? And I'm like, why do I have this photo still out? I'm just sitting on the couch in my boxers. Of course it's gonna look odd.
Just a little uncomfortable. Yeah, just a little.
And so that was, I think, the funniest one though. Like it being not necessarily awkward, but the first time I ever had to do like a boxer scene was like my first week at Days, and I was just kind of like, all right, cool, whatever. But like I wasn't that, like, I had such a sports tan going on, so I had like shorts, tan, and then white because I was constantly outside, but it was like soccer outside, so it was very, very white on my like thighs. And there's a scene, like I remember this so well because it just stuck with me. And like we're sitting there and they're like, okay, so you're gonna come here, you're just gonna sit down on the couch, and like it was when Jade comes in and she's like talking to me about trying to manipulate me, and I'm talking to her, and I'm like, and they come over in between takes, they go, hey Lucas, when you come in, like, grab this pillow and kind of put it on your legs. And I was like, why? That's gonna look weird, right? I was like, if I'm sitting in my boxers and I have to grab a pillow and like put it over my lap, that's odd. And they go, and I was like, when a girl walks in and they go, no, your legs are really white, and it's causing a big contrast on the camera, so it looks so funny. Like it's like a straight up, just like
I want to
blinding
go
white.
back now and look for that scene.
That's why there's
with
a
the
pillow, because I have such white thighs at the time that they were like, it's such a farmer's tan, like crazy. Like I was like a little tan on the top and then just white. And so they said it was just such a contrast that they were like, yeah, we like needed something to like cover it up.
The blanket would be really weird.
So they made it where I was just like grabbed it to like cover my chest up, and then I had to set it down. So, but I was like, it was such a funny thing to say to someone. Like they're like, your legs are really white. And I was like,
That's the first week.
thank you. Yeah, no, exactly.
wow,
So
okay.
I was like, all right, cool. So maybe I should get outside with like shorter shorts on or something at one point in time.
Or maybe just a heads up and a tan.
Yeah, like
right.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, I wouldn't mind a heads up or something.
Yeah.
But no, it was like the first week. They were like, hey, yeah, so you're gonna be shirtless like tomorrow. I was like, oh, cool.
Okay, great, thanks.
Okay, I haven't done a push up in a bit. All right. So let's do this. And so yeah, that was like one of the funnier stories that always stood out to me because it was the funniest thing anybody's ever told me.
Wow.
Like, hey.
And probably ever will.
And that's how they said it because they were trying to obviously not hurt my feelings, and I could care less.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like, tell me whatever.
But you're a newbie, too,
No, but
so
of
they were
course, and
probably
that's
like-
what I'm saying. And they were trying to be so gentle, and they're just like, I'm just like, can you? And I'm like, it's yeah,
Yeah,
of
it's
course,
totally
but that's
fine.
fine. They're like, yeah, it's just, I'm sorry. I'm like, cool, it's fine. Now I do now after that self tanner every time.
Yeah.
Easy breezy.
Easy breezy.
Nathan in our chat wants to know, would you continue working in daytime, and what soap besides Days would you be interested in working in? Well, you were on Young and the Restless before Days.
That was my first ever speaking role.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, it was an under 5 on Young and the Restless.
Well, lucky you for
That's
getting an under 5. Some of us are still waiting for ours.
I got
But no,
my
it's-
first under 5 on Days.
Oh, really?
She
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
She played a reporter.
Oh,
Jealous.
Oh, yeah, that was my first ever thing, and I was just a fan of. She was a singer on the show at the time. I don't actually remember her name. This was back in 2012. Maybe.
Do you know who's
She was on like American Idol, and then she was on the show after that as like.
YNR, do you
I
remember?
know, I can't. I'll have to look
But
it
I
up.
can't remember.
I stopped watching American Idol after Fantasia.
I understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't actually know. I've never given it a thought. I would work again, like in daytime, because it's very fun. I love the people in daytime. I already know a lot of them now from events that we've gone to, and so that'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
But other than shows, I don't really know.
You're open.
Yeah, I mean, General Hospitals always seems crazy.
Yeah.
There always seems like something going on there.
You know what's funny is that earlier in the chat, someone said that Tamara. Wait, is it right here? No. Tamara Braun could come back alive, but end up in Port Charles, where Tripp then comes to Port Charles and is the doctor. And I was like, they created this whole storyline, like right there. Yeah,
That's interesting. Interesting, but I have a couple of friends over at General Hospital too. One that actually worked on the Disney show years ago too, which was he's now there, and so that'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't mind going over there.
Yeah.
Does
Put in the hospital just in case.
Yeah.
You know.
Does a Lauren Lott sound familiar for the American Idol? No.
I think
she played Anna.
No, I think her name was Vivian.
Vivian. Okay.
Or something.
I just kind of looked that up.
I'm trying to remember the line. Honestly, that's what I'm trying to go through my Rolodex in my head.
It's gonna pop up on the drive home.
Yeah, exactly.
And you'll be like, oh, that's who it was, and then we'll tweet it out.
Yeah. well, actually, I did work with oh my gosh, my head's drawn a blank. Greg.
Ricard?
Vaughn?
No, Ricard.
Ricard,
yes.
yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't remember his last name.
Leo.
That's why. But I worked. He was in my first scene.
Oh.
For a Young and the Restless.
Fabulous.
Because he was like the wife of her at the time, and I was a fan of hers, and so he was there. And I remember talking to him for a second, and then when he came to Days, I had to be like, hey man, listen, I gotta tell you, you were in my first ever speaking role part.
Wow.
And so we talked about that for a little bit, because our rooms were like right next to each other too.
Yeah.
And so it just happened to be just random, but yeah.
Look at that.
That's so.
Yeah.
How the tables turn.
Yeah,
know.
because it threw me off when he first came to set, because I looked at him and went, that was that guy.
And then you almost kind of go,
Hey.
Oh,
Wait a second.
You're here. It's like, did I drive to the right set?
Yeah, I was like, hang on. Burbank Studios. That's where I'm at.
We have a phone. Oh, we have a couple of phone calls. So we'll take one. Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. You're on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, Tony. It's Emily from Boston.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I've been on the line a little bit. I don't think you guys knew you picked up.
I think I had a note that said there was a caller, but I didn't realize you were on the phone. So you heard a whole lot.
I'm sorry.
Did you have a question or comment for Lucas?
I have a question for Lucas.
Yes.
Okay, Lucas, what was your favorite Tripp scene to film?
Ooh.
A lot of people were asking that in the chat room.
Ooh. My favorite... One of my favorite Tripp scenes to film, honestly, had to have been the one where Matthew Ashford comes in to arrest Haley.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this crazy, shouting match between us. And that was honestly one of my favorite films for one, what we were doing and getting to really it was just me and Matthew just yelling at each other. And I loved doing that.
Must have felt so good.
Oh, it was awesome. But it was hard to keep a straight face because in the rehearsal, we did the whole thing. They wanted to see it just be knocked down, drag out. We're like, all right, we'll do it. We got this. Like, we're gonna just go for it. We did the whole thing in rehearsal. We are shouting at each other. We're doing this, and then at the end of it, when he yells "God bless America," in the rehearsal, he started going "God bless America."
Oh my God!
I started busting out laughing, and then we get through the first take. We had to do coverage again for the pickup because we're doing that last, and he just goes in, "God bless America," and I'm just trying to stay as serious as I possibly can, and I just start laughing again. They go, Lucas, we're gonna have to go back to coverage. Just give us a look at the end. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm so sorry. I was like, but my mind went right there again. I couldn't stop laughing, and so that was probably one of my favorite ones, just because of how funny that entire thing was.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Matt is funny.
He's great.
It's hard to just not laugh when he's around.
Yeah, I know, he's great.
Well, thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate you. Sorry we kept you on hold for so long.
Oh, no, that's okay. I just have one more favor.
Oh, yes.
I'm here with my 12-year-old niece. I want Lucas to say hi to Shaylee.
Hey, Shaylee.
You can look right into that camera and say hi.
Hey, Shaylee, how you doing?
Oh, that just made her day. She's going to go to school and be like, guess what, y'all? And she's going to pull it up on YouTube and be like, look. And she's going to make everybody jealous.
So
That's
awesome.
right.
Thank you so much. We'll really miss you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for calling.
You're welcome.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
We'll take this next caller. Right. Or whichever one. Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. You're on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, it's Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. Sarah, you.
Hi, Lucas.
Hi, Sarah. How are you doing?
Good. I'm just really sad that we won't. I really enjoy your scenes with Taylor.
Oh, thank you so much.
I love that relationship that you guys have.
I do too. I really like the growth that they've really kind of grown even closer together since Steve's been gone too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Tripp not to blame himself anymore for turning Taylor. She forgiven you.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just, it's one of those things that's hard for him to really forgive himself because it's someone that he clearly cares about now. And so it's really, cares about a lot now. And so I think that's just one of his things that he's just like, I can't believe I was able to do that. And so I understand why he still kind of has that reserved feeling. But I agree, though, he should let it go.
And then what is like working with Robert Wilson?
Oh,
Do you think
That's right.
Tripp and Ben could be friends in the future?
Oh,
If he come back?
Oh, yeah. I wish we could have gone so much further with that.
Yeah, the antagonism between you guys is amazing.
Because we always joked about seeing a fight between us because Tripp has always been in fights Ben has obviously always been in fights, and I would have loved to do that.
That would have been good fight.
I like that would have been awesome. And so we were always joking about it. But yeah, no, but Rob is one of the nicest people you can actually meet, like, and very genuine person. And so it's easy to do scenes with him too, especially he's playing this, big bad guy all the time, and then he's just like joking around off the side. And so it's really fun to kind of get to do that and see his dark side, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. He plays that so well, though.
Uh-huh.
He plays it
He's
so
got
well.
he's got the smolder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's got the smolder.
That's like, what are you gonna do?
That's what Shelby calls him, the smolder.
The smolder. It's a
Yeah.
great word, yeah.
She calls him the smolder.
That's a good one.
You see him on the screen, it's always, there's a smolder.
Yeah.
There it is.
Unless he's eating cereal and then he's unbothered.
But that was also one of my favorite scenes of his. Just while we're sitting there, he's just
We
doing
could
things.
replay that 100 times.
And that was one of the things where we're sitting there, and I do that whole just jerkish, here, take this, you can leave. And we're sitting there in rehearsal, and he goes, could I take this and eat it? Well, and I was like, please do. I wish. And the director at the time was like, yeah, okay. And we're like, sweet, cool, awesome, that's gonna be great. And he just milked it, every bit of it.
That was the best. Oh, thank you, Sarah, for calling in. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
We love her.
that scene, and I remember in that scene, someone said something, and he went like that, while he was eating the cereal.
It was
that
watching, he was
the best.
watching a show.
I think it was me
because
I kept bringing up him being a serial
killer. Yeah.
And those were also some of my favorite scenes too, just from getting to go it's like Tripp is watching this show kind of thing, and so it's it's him going, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
He's killed people, and they're like, like a long time
That's
ago.
what sinners hear.
Yeah, I know, and that's what it's like. But that was a long time ago, and so I loved getting to be the
voice of reason.
Are you kidding
Common
me?
sense.
Yeah, what are you talking about? And so that was a lot of fun to get to play with.
Crazy. We have another caller on the line. Hello, caller. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. You're on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's me, World.
Oh, hey, Me World. How are you?
World.
I'm doing fantastic. How about you guys?
We're doing great. I haven't forgotten about your old shiz moment of the week.
And I thought of you when I saw that scene. I thought of you.
Yep, it was a good one. I'm going to make sure I mention it after the show and retweet it. Me World has started his own segment on our show.
Okay.
Called the Old Shiz Moment of the Week.
Okay.
And we always mention it, but now he's on. So, hello, Me World. You have a question for or comment for Lucas?
Yes. Hi, Lucas.
How you doing?
What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Well, my question for you is about Ben and Tripp. I was wondering, if Tripp is to come back to Salem, and he and Ben have a storyline, do you think that you guys will actually work together to solve some sort of mission or something?
I would be so down for that, because I liked the way that it was left open in that way when we last spoke to each other, where it was just kind of you're not as bad as the guy I thought you were. That's it. That's all I'm going to give you. That kind of thing. And that was one of my favorite lines you get to say. Yeah, I would be totally down, because that would be right up their alleys now, especially if he's figuring out what is it, security and kind of just almost being in his own private eye in a way, and then getting to be kind of the doctor side. I'm down.
That would be pretty cool, because I thought about the storyline for you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking that Tripp left Salem, but instead of leaving Salem to go to medical school, he will go undercover to on a mission to figure out what's going on with a dark organization.
And maybe we need a serial killer to come in.
Behind surgery.
Hey.
There you go.
And Ben gets involved in it because Ciara got kidnapped.
Oh.
That would be good.
Okay, wait.
Well, she's due for a kidnapping.
Yeah,
Right.
About to say, is it going to be back at the cabin?
Oh, God.
Probably.
Tied to the bed again.
Yeah.
Poor Sierra. She got kidnapped more times than anybody I know ever on this show.
That cabin needs to be raised. It needs to just go away.
I was like, girl, you need a self-defense class ASAP.
I know.
Poor thing.
She's punched Claire before.
She has.
Yeah.
She has.
And she bit Pamela Van Dam.
That's right.
Van Dam.
Oh. Ooh. Then why? Then how did she? I don't know.
She got kids.
Just a fan with open arms. Thank you, Me World, for calling in. We appreciate you always.
But I would be so down, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely be on the lookout for that. I should be hired.
We'll put in a good word for you, Me World. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you. All right, let's take one more caller before we sadly have to wrap things up. Oh, but there's no caller there. I thought there was, and then they all hung up at the same time. There we go. We'll take one of those. Hey, caller, welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Dishin Days. You're on live. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Mike Riley from New York.
Hey, Mike.
Oh,
How you doing?
well, Mr. Mike Riley. Look who called in.
Yeah, it's me. How's everyone? Everyone doing okay?
Good,
We're doing great,
thank
Mike.
you.
How about yourself?
Very well, thank you. I'll try to be brief. I tend to talk a lot when I call in, but I just want to say, Lucas, that your leaving the show is going to be a loss that's felt deeply by the fans. Mm-hmm. I really like the character of Tripp. I know, Sin is a very hot commodity right now, Ben and Sierra, but I was one of those people that was really rooting for Tripp and Sierra, and obviously storylines change, and Sin is doing really well. But I do think that once they put Ben and Sierra together, the writers didn't really know what to do with the character of Tripp, and I think, he kind of suffered a little, but there's a great fan base that was rooting for you. I think you are a tremendous talent. You deliver lines so conversationally and so naturally, no soap opera affectation or it's just you're just such a natural actor. And when I think of a young Leonardo DiCaprio starting off on Growing Pains and looking where he is now, I can see a trajectory like that for you too, because I really think you are a star in the making.
Well, thank you very much. That means a lot. Thank you very much. That's very much appreciated.
Mike Riley.
Yeah, I was like,
it's like, what do you say?
I don't know
after
what to
that?
say. I was like, that was so nice. That was the nicest thing.
You can take this clip and add it to your reel.
Sure.
Yeah, I use it on my resume,
I wish you all the best, because I really think you are. We see a lot of young actors kind of come in and out of shows, and it's only a few that really stand out. And I think because you're such a natural actor, maybe you've kind of maybe the character Tripp kind of flew under the radar a little bit. Obviously he wasn't a psycho killer, but I think if you just keep your head on and keep focus, you'll do extremely well in this business.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. Wow.
Well, thank you, Mike
Bless
Riley,
you.
as always. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate all of you every day.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Especially you, Tony.
Oh, I know. I'll tell Mark J. Freeman you said hello.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye, Mike. So everyone in the chat room has been asking, what is next for you? I know that you have a movie called Killer Ransom that's coming out.
I did that just a couple months ago. It was a Lifetime movie. I don't know when it would be out, but that's that was one of the fun ones to get to do. So I got to play a kidnapper.
Oh, well, you had a lot of experience.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I got to work with Paige Searcy, which was really
who played
cool.
Jade. Yeah, who we absolutely adored her when she was on the show.
And she's also her and James are still together. They've been dating for years.
Yeah. Oh, shout out to Paige and James.
Mr. Lastovic over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really fun to get to play. I had a big old tattoo on my forearm the whole time, and just got to be not a nice person.
Yeah.
And so that was really fun.
Tell us a little bit about the film. What is it?
Basically, I just get mixed in with the wrong people, and then I need money, and I go to rob this fancy house, and the daughter happens to be there that is friends with my brother. Oh. And so I just end up taking her, and then he gets along, all in this too, and I end up killing a few people.
Oh my!
Wow.
Is it nice to play like a villain, like someone like a bad boy?
Oh yeah, if I get the talking just dark and raspy, I'm good with that. If I can just be down low for a while, I'm good. I'm gonna be fine.
Very Clint Eastwood of you.
And so like if I get to kind of do that a little bit more, because sometimes I'll have to raise my voice up a lot to because I have like a kind of raspier voice sometimes, and so getting to just kind of not have to mess with it and just be just this kind of character was really cool. And I'm just constantly just sure of myself and half drunk all the time kind of person. Yeah. So that was really fun.
That's gonna be good because Lifetime replays their movies like all the time.
times.
So like if you missed it once, you'll see it right after again.
I haven't seen any really footage of it though, so I don't know. I just, not me personally, just because I'm like, let's figure this out, let's do it. So I haven't seen any of it, so I'm very curious to watch it finally. But it was only a couple months ago.
Well, when we it was already on.
No. I'm saying I just filmed it a few months ago. So I mean, I don't know when it would be on.
Well, as soon as we find out when, we'll definitely like plug it because everyone in the chat seems very excited about it. They're like a Lifetime movie. Ooh, I'll keep my eye out for it. Yeah. So we'll have to because I want to see this tattoo and this.
See you in that role.
And there's a movie that that we had at a film festival back in March that we filmed last year. That is called Confessional, and that was like what I get to play a really bad person, and that is not necessarily for kids either. So parents, FYI. But that one was probably one of my more fun ones because even like this Killer Ransom thing, I'm much more of a worse person in this one, but that one should be coming out on digital at one point. So.
Okay.
But like they did pretty well some of the film festivals that they had it in. So that one was really fun because I just play. I'm like this super misogynistic like rich kid kind of thing.
Fun.
And
my gosh.
And it's all in a confessional booth.
Oh.
And so kind of thing, but not like a church confessional. Like like you're just in this. It's really weird.
It's not a diss. It's not a diss to say I can totally see you playing that.
I was in a suit, like sweater with a tie, all this stuff. Not a good person. Like it was so much fun to play, but it's not a good person.
You do have that look from like all the classic like '80s films that had that one douchebag.
Yeah,
that's right.
James Spader back in the day, or Bradley Cooper.
James Spader back in the day.
Not that he's a douche in real life. He's
no.
very nice in real life.
He played him really well.
No, but I like to be kind of getting to be sarcastic and like kind of I guess jerkish or whatever. Just like I love getting to play that just because I'm not necessarily that person, so I get to kind of like screw you guys. It's kind of fun, and so but I get that typecast a lot for just kind of how I look. I'm that very jockey kind of person. Which I'll take it. Like I am a jock in that way, so I'm fine with that.
I would need a stunt double. It's like don't hire me to be the basketball player. I don't.
Oh, see, whenever they're like, I remember on Liv and Maddie, we had this huge thing where it was like one of my first days there, and we were doing this stunt where there's like this trampoline and a basketball goal, and then
two things that don't go together.
A slam ball. Come on, it was that was awesome.
I still
slam
think
ball
the
was
concept.
the coolest in like the early 2000s. But no, there was like this trampoline and then the basketball goal, and then like I'm supposed to go through and crash into the lockers on the other side because that like a school, and they had a stunt double do it, and I was like, I could do this, guys. Like y'all could let me do it. And they're like, well, so they're like, okay, we'll put a pad on. So they had this huge like spine pad thing on my back so I could run into the lockers, and I had the best time. Still hurt, but I had the best time because I was like, this is like what I want to do. I'm the most untrained stunt person ever. So like, just tell me what to do, but I just have no training to do it. So you're just going to let me know what I'm doing.
But at least you were willing to like go for it.
Oh, because I'm like, I got. They're like, I got pads. I'm good. Like,
because I would have said, we switching now, or what are we doing? What are we doing in this moment?
I was like, you can't give a trampoline and not have me want to jump off of it.
Nope. I'm good. No, not a daredevil at all.
I'm with you. I would have done that.
Right? It's like when else you could have an opportunity
to
like safely land into the lockers. There's doctors on side, like they're gonna help you.
No, I'm okay.
Technically, you're in the safest position to do so.
I'll be at Crafty.
Like you have everybody there.
I'll be at Crafty. Let me know. Like bag of Doritos. Oh yeah, that looked good. But
I'm a gummy bear person at the Crafty. I'm always getting gummy bears.
I'm the Cheez-Its, like Doritos, Oreo.
Okay.
Like the crackers.
If there's like
kinda guy.
candy, yeah, I'm always buying
Yeah.
candy.
I like my
downfall.
Skittles.
Skittles sweet tarts are like the best.
Yes.
I get those like mini chewy sweet tarts, those like little
Yeah.
balls.
Mhm.
I get those on Amazon all the time.
Oh,
Oh.
good to know.
You get boxes of those on Amazon for like $20.
Oh my God.
And there's always a delivery house.
Oh yeah.
But before we have to go, first, again, same sentiments that Mike Riley had. It's very sad to see you off the
Yeah.
canvas of Days. You have done an amazing job as Tripp and introducing this new character and being able to mix in with so many of the characters there. What did you learn from this experience? Like, what do you get to take away from it and feel like that you can apply to your future projects?
Other than memorization,
Which is a
Your
lot of
capacity.
memorization.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would say a lot of what you said earlier about really get like rolling with whatever,
Mhm.
and that because it really helps you kind of get away from you and just be with the character.
Yeah.
And so that was really helpful because like you're constantly, it's like the craziest acting class, because you're constantly doing different emotions all day, every day, and getting to like take yourself away and just be in the character and trying to be as real as possible with, sometimes it could be some ridiculous thing happening, but it's like, this is their world. This is how they would live it, kind of thing. So it's like, that was really cool, just going, okay, completely aside from yourself. This is the character. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
And I think that was what really helped me. Just even now, even auditioning now, it helps me get into an audition more. Just because you're going, cool, whatever. This is exactly how it goes.
Just saying yes to everything.
Yes.
And not necessarily.
Yes, and.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you're just going like these people don't know they're in a show. Kind of, they don't know this storyline is weird. Kind of, it's just this is what's happening in their lives, and so it was cool to think of it that way after like you really get going, and so that's something that I'll always think about.
Oh, good. Well, again, we're sad that you're leaving, but there's never a never when it comes to daytime.
No, there's not.
Yeah.
So you never
No,
know,
there's not.
and especially after watching this fall preview. If y'all
Holy
haven't
mackerel.
watched it yet, y'all make
I'm
sure y'all
afraid
tune
to. I
into
haven't
that.
watched it yet.
You haven't watched it?
No.
Oh,
I know.
oh, jaw dropping. So like, y'all make sure y'all tune into that because there's a lot of teens going on.
I'll pour a
in
glass
there.
of wine before I watch it.
You-
Oh yeah,
Just
you
to-
may want to
You
make that
should.
a little bigger.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good
just
to
a little
know.
bit. Well, thank you, Lucas, for joining
Thank
us.
y'all for
But don't
having
go
me.
anywhere because we have to go through our social media. People want to
Yeah,
stalk
I
you
ain't-
and stuff.
No, I ain't going nowhere.
But before we head out, Chelsie, I almost said Michael Mattis, but it's not you. Chelsie, where can they find you and cyberstalk you?
Oh, hey guys, you can find me on Instagram at Chelsie Overrocker and on Twitter at Chels Overrocker.
Tami Goveia.
You can find me on Twitter at Tami Goveia and Insta Tami.Goveia.
And to keep up with Lucas Adams and all the cute and adorable pictures he's going to post of him and Shelby.
Instagram the Lucas Adams and Twitter Lucas Brentley.
And your doggy.
Yeah, Lando.
OMG, stop.
He's-
so delicious.
He's my favorite.
Oh my
He's my
gosh.
bud.
He's just squishy.
Yeah, and we cuddle all the time.
Oh,
He's a big cuddler.
Shelby, don't get jealous of that. It's fine.
She's the reason he's a cuddler, probably.
And of course, you guys can find all of us on Facebook and Twitter. We are Dishin Days and _Dishin Days. Oh, wait. Did I say that wrong? For the first.
Oh,
No, I feel like Michael
Twitter.
Mattis. Let me do it again. Facebook and Instagram, Dishin Days. On Twitter, _Dishin Days. The @ is implied. See, that's what
Y'all
was
should
in
have,
there.
you should have that written down.
Yeah, somewhere.
On our hands, right here.
And of course, you guys can find me on all social media platforms at Lounging with Tony on my website, loungingwithtony.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Lucas, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thank y'all so much
Best
for
of
having
luck
me.
to you. You're going to do
Thank you.
amazing things.
We're
And let us
excited.
know what's happening so we
Yes.
can
Yeah.
keep everyone
Yeah.
posted.
Yes, of course.
And we'll see you guys next week for another full recap of NBC's #1 award-winning hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.